Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome. It's Wednesday, March 29th, 2023. It's 9 o'clock, and we are here in the Center Hearing Room for our weekly board session at 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. As always, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have one person signed up for public comment. David Beam, come on up. Introduce yourself for the record.
Who's David?
Good morning, County Commissioners. I got some bills on the legislature and for Marion County for homeless people in Marion County. I got funding from Washington, D.C. for homeless in Marion County. And I was wondering if we can get more money keep it going for 4 years or 5 years more. Get housing for them. Because a lot of disability people are homeless, and blind and the deaf are homeless. And I want to see if we get this done as soon as possible. And I think you guys need to go to the legislature and try to get a little bit more money for us.
All right, thank you, David.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bethel isn't here this morning, but she's serves on our Homeless Alliance board, and so make sure to follow up with her.
Yeah.
She's doing a lot of work on this.
I'd like everybody to go up and testify on it.
Great. All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you, David. Appreciate it.
And we'll look at that sidewalk in front of the YMCA that
Yeah,
you told me about.
because I fell down on YMCA on the sidewalk, and I broke my finger, and I cut my eye open, my lip open, and they said they were going to fix it, and the city didn't fix it, and they need to fix that because 2 people fall down on that sidewalk.
Take a look at it.
YMCA.
All right, we'll take a look at it. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
Okay, next up, we're going to consider approval of a proclamation designating the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Marion County. It looks like we got a whole team here, so come on up. We got 2 different places that you can sit.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Sarah Cootley with Community Services. So today we're going to just give you a little bit of information about Child Abuse Prevention Month. I have with me Kyle Tarr from Liberty House, Allison Kelly from Liberty House, and Tanya Hamilton from Family Building Blocks. So they're going to start the presentation.
So thank you again for allowing us to spend some time this morning on a really impactful and powerful topic. I think that us in this room have an impact all year round in the work that we do, but we also wanted to invite you as community members and commissioners to be a part of this, and so we're hoping that proclamation will be kicked off and that you too will be committed into providing prevention to our children. And so that's where one of the pieces is that everyone here in this room, as well as our guests and community members, all have an impact on child abuse. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about who's involved in the committee and some of the activities, but also we're going to share a little bit about education. So here is the list of our partners that have been committed to this work in the committee of kicking off this month in April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. But like I said, these are all members of, or our partners in our community that are doing this work and impacting the lives of our children every day across the year. So some things that have come up, which I'll start talking about statistics. This is really, really impactful. We all had childhood experiences, we all have children in our lives, and then we're all a part of a community that children live. And so we're going to share the numbers, which is probably the heaviest part of it, but then we're going to talk a little bit about how we can all be involved in impacting those numbers. So in 2021, 10,766 confirmed victims of child abuse and neglect in Oregon. And I would also want to mention that there's probably other numbers included in that were never reported or ever founded. So I want you to, this is a very impactful number. It makes my hair on my arms kind of stand up. However, we have lots of work to do. Confirmed cases in Marion County, 1,094. Wow, it's pretty impactful. And of those, 42% are under the age of 5, which means, like, during the most crucial time of brain development, children are being impacted. So between prenatal to age 3, 80%, that's how fast the brain grows between that period of time. To age 5, 90. What we do in the beginning of early stages of our lives with children, or children's lives, the first 1,000 days is the most impactful. And 42% of the children that are living in our community are impacted during that crucial time, which lays the foundation of their trajectory of their future in our community, as in relationships. I know that a lot of this information you know about, but this is the work that we need to dive into. So,
Thank you so much, Tanya. And these statistics really reinforce the importance of raising awareness with this proclamation, with the prevention work that all the organizations in our community are engaged in. And just another statistic, out of all the children who were abused and neglected in Oregon in 2021, 93.1% of those incidents were perpetrated by a family member or someone living in their home. So this really highlights and reminds us that we need to support all families, and working with families is one of our county's most important investments. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the ways that we as a community can focus on prevention, because we want to empower community members that you can take action and make a positive impact in the lives of children and families. And this can, take the look of, several different avenues. Spending time and building relationships with the children in your lives. Recognizing that importance of unconditional love and enjoying the time that you spend together. It's also really important to recognize that parents and adult mentors are crucial. That number one most important protective factor to preventing abuse and keeping children safe is a child having a healthy relationship with at least one safe adult outside of their home. In terms of this impact that we can make as a community, it's also learning how to talk about body safety, consent, healthy touch. And you can get trained to recognize the signs of abuse and how to react responsibly. All throughout April, Liberty House will be providing our whole series of prevention trainings every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings, free, virtually for the community, in English and in Spanish, because we need to make this as accessible as possible. And this can also be as simple as supporting organizations engaged in this work and joining in community efforts that are focused on strengthening families. And we really want everyone here today to come away with the takeaway that prevention, what that means, is when you become more aware and then you act. And now I'm going to turn it over to Liberty House's CEO, Allison Kelly.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Good morning, commissioners. It's such an honor to be here with you this morning. As you might know, I'm in my 10th year of being the CEO of Liberty House, and before that I had the honor of working right here in Marion County. So I really want to do a great shout out to county leadership, to our sheriff's office, to community services, health department, all of the people who are really deeply invested in helping children in our communities be safe and thrive. It takes all of us, and I just appreciate you all. What we see on the screen right now are some tips that were created through this collaboration. And what I love about these tips is that they're doable, they're achievable, and not all parents feel really comfortable talking to their kids. Not all kids feel really comfortable talking to their parents. But the trainings that Kyle was describing and the work that our partner Family Building Blocks does really helps deliver the tools for here's how we get there, here's how we can make it safe and easier to talk and spend time. And what Tanya was describing as far as that brain development in early childhood happens with the eye contact, with the singing, with the reading, with the interaction, and it also repeats itself in adolescence. Teens need that too. And so everything that you see on the screen, everything that we've talked about, it's all really important. The trainings that are being offered have been part of a larger statewide project involving the Ford Family Foundation and have been studied by the Center for the Prevention of Abuse and Neglect with the University of Oregon, and the outcomes are incredible. People who go through those trainings feel 3 months later, 6 months later, 12 months later, I learned something, I feel like I have the tools, I can make a difference, and that matters. That's everything. So that's it. We want to really kick off this year on a positive note, saying this is largely preventable. There's a lot we can do, and we have an incredible community with lots of dynamic partners, and it's happening. So we want to invite anybody who might be listening to this to join in and be part of the solution. So with that,
Well, and so next Friday, we will actually, for the third straight year, be having our Marion County Car Parade kickoff for Child Abuse Prevention Month. So next Friday morning, April 7th, starting at 8:15, we'll leave from the Oregon State Fairgrounds and take a trip through Salem, ending just down the street here at YMCA. Due to the construction that's going on at the Capitol, we'll have the handoff of those pinwheels to law enforcement who will be there. So that's just another really easy way for community members to get involved, to show support and be part of Child Abuse Prevention Month. And, just again, in closing, we want everyone to recognize that we all have a role to play in preventing child abuse and keeping children safe. So we really want to empower our community members and celebrate childhood this April. So we really thank you all for your time. Thank you, commissioners, for this opportunity to share our passion, our work that we're engaged in, and we just want to thank everyone for doing their part.
Great, thank you. I know we're going to be there next Friday. Commissioner Cameron, do you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Kyle, you mentioned, what's the stat on the interfamily abuse? What was the percentage you said in the state?
So in 2021, in the Oregon DHS reports, 93.1% of abuse that occurred from the perpetrator was a family member or someone living in their home. So that just really reinforces that importance of, again, those safe adults outside the home. So all the organizations that are part of this Marion County Child Abuse Prevention Committee, we all are playing our role to help keep children safe.
That just seems like the hardest place to penetrate, to be able to get to if it's within a home, right? And I'm sure COVID had a big impact on that because now kids weren't going out to school. How has that changed if with schools being back open? And I don't want to make any political statements here, but wish we would have kept schools open for a lot of reasons. Have we seen a difference?
and Commissioner Cameron, I can speak to that. What we know based on real-time data from the teams that work to investigate reports of cases, that the pandemic and the isolation that children experienced did have a very negative effect. It prevented them from being able to connect with other safe adults outside their home. And there were some kids and some families throughout Marion County who did suffer harm because of that. There's another point that I want to make very quickly, and that is the statistics that we cite are only based on what were the things that were called into the Oregon Department of Human Services hotline. It does not constitute a sense of true prevalence. It's why researchers disagree widely on how bad is it really? Is it 1 in 5 children? Is it 1 in 10 children? They don't know. But that same team out of the University of Oregon Center for the Prevention of Abuse and Neglect has done a study in one county and received funding to take that larger. And they report that the actual prevalence of harm to children based on direct interviews with teens in a very safe method is much higher. And so we just want to be aware of that, and that's why this is so important.
Can I also, sorry, can I add one more thing to piece on that? I think that that's why it's so important that we not just care about our children, but we also care about the people that care for those children.
Right.
Because when you think about situations where abuse happens, there are so many other factors. I'm not justifying anything, but it could happen to anyone if they did not have self-regulation strategies and different things like that. So in our work, it is so empowering and important to not just love on the children, but to love on the people that they love, because that does major pieces. And no matter what happens in those homes, they will always love those people. And so how to build and strengthen their family unit so that they can thrive is so essential. Not just the outside family members, but the members of their unit is so empowering. So, sorry.
No, that's
to
fine,
interrupt.
and I know that's what Family Building Blocks
Yeah,
does, is
absolutely.
strengthen parents and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
family unit. But I'm curious, do we know of the, let's say the 1,000, I forget what the number was in Marion County, 1,091 or whatever it was. How many of those cases do you track reporting what brought to the attention through the schools? Of the 1,000 that happened, was it 50%? Do we know that?
That would be a number that would be worthy of, we'd have to track that down. We do know that changes that have happened recently that, decrease the number of other safe adults, such as school resource officers, that really did make a difference. And it is helpful to have a good collaborative response in the schools because it gives more safe adults for children to confide in.
So we don't track, of the 1,000 cases that are up there for Marion County, we don't have a way of going back and saying this is where this case was reported first.
I think we could probably get to that. We don't have that numbers
I think
in
that
front
would
of
be, I know I would like to know that, how much
Okay.
of that comes through the schools, because, that's another reason we need to make sure that kids are in person with other adults. So, thank you.
And I don't have that exact statistic for 2021, but I know typically in terms of all the reports that are made to the Oregon Child Abuse Hotline, it's roughly around 75% of those are made by mandatory reporters. So it's not just, those who are, involved in the school, teachers, staff. That is, just shows that importance of those people who have eyes on the children.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because I know in 20 and 21, we were still locked down in schools. So how those numbers adjust. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I just wanted to say I will be, I'm not sure I'm going to be in the car on Friday the 7th, but I will definitely be at the Y. They're going to have their Good Friday prayer breakfast right after you arrive. So I hope people that are listening will join in that as well, and we can lift this issue up in prayer in our community as well. So thank you for what you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I also want to ask for more data if you have it. Just because you mentioned 93% of these are folks, either family members or folks living in the home. I would love to know the breakout. What percent is people living in the home that aren't family members versus people living in the home that are family members? So if you could get that, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, we can definitely get that. I know that it is roughly about 30% family members, about 60% people that they know or trust that are in the home.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get those exact statistics.
Okay, great. Thank you, and thank you for your work. This is really important work. So, okay, Commissioner Cameron, I'll take a motion.
It's a hard one. Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve a proclamation designating the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Marion County.
I'll second the motion. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes.
And if you want me to start off,
Please.
I'll read the proclamation before the Board of Commissioners for Marion County, Oregon, in the matter proclaiming the month of April 2023 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Marion County. Proclamation. This matter came before the Marion County Board of Commissioners at its regularly scheduled meeting on March 29, 2023. Whereas the health and viability of our community is dependent upon the investment in our most vulnerable children. And whereas in 2021, there were 10,766 reported victims of child abuse and neglect in Oregon, of which 1,094 were victims in Marion County. And whereas we encourage all members of the community to become aware of the issues involved in the prevention of harm to young people so that the next generation will be safe, strong, and successful. And
Whereas by strengthening families and providing safe, stable, and nurturing environments that are free from violence, abuse, and neglect, opportunities are created for children's optimal growth and success, ensuring a future for our communities where the needs of children are a priority and the needs of families are met. And whereas the Marion County Board of Commissioners asks everyone to join together as individuals, organizations, and government agencies to protect our children and prevent child abuse in our community. Now, therefore, it is hereby proclaimed that the month of April 2023 is Child Abuse Prevention Month in Marion County. Dated at Salem, Oregon, this 29th day of March, 2023. Okay, so thank you all. We have a proclamation here to share with you, and are we going to take a photo? Is there somebody?
John's here.
Oh, John's here. We are going to take a photo. All right.
did one of these go back?
Gotta put my pin on here. Yeah. Is that theirs? Kevin,
Here, I got one here.
Two on your side of, sure,
Yeah.
let's do that, okay. Sorry, these are the things that I think about. There, I know. Try. Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
All right, moving right along, let's jump into our consent agenda, Commissioner Cameron, if you would.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I'll move our consent agenda. First item under finance, approve a quitclaim deed for the sale of tax foreclosed property from Marion County to grantees Vasa, Fred, Mark, and Daniel Snakeriff, tax ID number 544744. Under Human Resources, approve a recommendation to reactivate class code number 561, Developmental Disabilities Associate 1, update classification specification, and adjust pay grade upward. Under Public Works, approve a resolution authorizing Marion County Parks to apply for a local government grant with the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department for development of Parkdale Park and sign a letter of support.
I'll second the motion. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, next up, we have Justine. Are you here? There you are. We're going to consider approval of an order adopting revised Marion County Administrative Policy number 505 and Procedure 505A, injured worker.
Good morning. I'm Justine Flora, Risk Manager here at Marion County. And I've brought for you a policy and procedure documents that we would like to update. They were last, so the policy 505, the injured worker policy, was first adopted in 1991, and it was last revised in 2008. So it's definitely time to take a look and freshen up the document. The procedures that accompany this policy 505A were adopted in 2005 and last revised in 2012. So both documents were ready for review and revision. In our review, we did identify some areas of the both documents that just needed some reformatting, some grammatical updates, and clarification. And these documents together outline how Marion County approaches injured workers. So most of us think about the term workers' compensation, which is the mechanism for how we make sure that injured workers are cared for medically and that we bring them back to work and get them ready to go to proceed with their lives, both in and outside of work. We do have rules and regulations that outline how injured workers are to be treated and insured. And Marion County operates a self-insured injured worker program. So rather than purchasing workers' compensation insurance, we do self-insure this with the help of a third-party administrator who administers the actual claims. We have a very robust early return to work program where we have a full-time staff here at the county that work hand in hand with our third-party administrator to make sure that we accommodate any restrictions that employees have so that we can keep them engaged in the workplace and help in their recovery. When you think of early return to work where we make accommodations, it's not just a way of making sure somebody comes to work. It's actually considered a part of their rehabilitation therapy as well, because it helps keep them engaged. It helps them test and see what their abilities are, and we do really have good results with this program. So these documents together really outline how we administer these programs. And we talked about this back in February, and we talked about some revisions, and you all had some requests and some comments about them, and we incorporated your recommendations. And hopefully it's a nice, clear document that outlines how we do it, what we do, and we also really beefed up on the definition section too, to help make it more clear what we're talking about, provide some common language throughout both documents.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Cameron, do you have any questions?
No, I think we covered this a while back.
We
so.
sure did. All right, then I'll take a motion.
All right. Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve an order adopting revised Marion County Administrative Policy number 505 and procedure number 505-A, injured worker.
I'll second the motion. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Thank you, Justine.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right, Brandon, you're up next. We're going to consider adopting an administrative ordinance amending the Marion County Urban and Rural Zone Code, Chapter 16 and 17, and the Marion County Comprehensive Plan to conform to changes in state law and adopt clarifying amendments.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Brandon Reich, staff representing the Planning Division of Public Works. The legislature passed laws in recent sessions, and the Department of Land Conservation and Development amended Oregon administrative rules related to land use planning over the last few years that go into effect soon, or they're already in effect, and must be implemented into our code. These amendments include these to address these issues, as well as there are amendments in the code to add uses, amend some standards, and then correct errors that we always seem to find in the code, little errors. The Planning Commission held work sessions and a public hearing and recommended a set of amendments to the board. On February 8th this year, the board held a public hearing and approved the amendments, directing staff to return with an ordinance. Last week, adoption of the ordinance was scheduled for today. Planning staff recommends the board adopt the ordinance as provided, and with that, I'm available for any questions you may have.
Great. We've done a lot of work on this over the last several months. Commissioner Cameron, do you have questions on this?
No, I think just a statement that I know the RV thing was a big deal with me, and I'm going to accept it the way the Planning Commission recommended, but there might be something we need to change in the future, depending on how things go. So I'm good. If you would like a motion, I'd be happy to make it.
I'll take a motion.
So, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we adopt an administrative ordinance amending the Marion County Urban and Rural Zone Code, Chapter 16, 17, and the Marion County Comprehensive Plan to conform to changes in state law and adopt clarifying amendments.
I'll second the motion. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all your work on this with your team and the planning commission as well.
Thank you. I'll let them know. Thank you.
A lot of time's been put in.
All right, I see Janelle and Carl back there. Next, we're going to consider approval of the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation in the amount of $318,181.82, of which an estimated $280,000 will be provided in federal funding and an estimated $38,181.82 will be provided in county funds for the Marion County Rural Transportation System Plan update through July 31st, 2025. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you so much. For the record, my name is Carl Lund, Marion County Traffic Engineer, Public Works, and with me is?
Janelle Shanahan, Marion County Public Works.
Thank you. All right, so we are here to talk about a transportation system plan. So the first question is, what is a transportation system plan? So transportation, or TSP, is a document which guides the transportation projects that are picked for the future. It outlines those projects, policies as we think about what transportation needs and programs to meet the projected needs for the next 20 years. Our last TSP was 2005, and so we are updating it at exactly that 20-year mark. So one of the interesting things about Marion County is we are in an economic zone that extends from the northern edge of Vancouver, Washington, down to Eugene. As having moved here about a year and a half ago, I've been talking to a bunch of people, and there is a lot of interconnectivity throughout the entire Willamette Valley. People live in all parts of it, and people work in all parts of it. And usually it's not, and commonly it's not the same part. And so with Marion County being centered as it is in the center of the Willamette Valley, there's a lot of transportation that moves through here. And so identifying those trends and working on developing projects to address those trends is a key part of the DSP. And now Janelle will help, we'll discuss the next part.
All right, thank you. So this plan will address the state's transportation planning rule, which requires the county to develop and adopt a 20-year transportation plan. And the area will cover, that will be covered in this rural TSP includes all the rural county transportation facilities that are outside urban growth boundaries of the 20 cities within the county. It will create the transportation goals and show how they support and relate to the land uses. We will provide an inventory of what we have currently in the transportation facilities and also reevaluate the existing projects that were identified in the 2005 plan. And some of those have been completed in the 20 years, and there are several that have not. It will also project future growth needs and provide future transportation conditions. And then with that data, we will create a prioritized project list based on safety, capacity, mobility, and accessibility of the system. And part of that will also be identifying the funding available or projected to be available, and also identify, well, we've got all these projects that we want. They obviously can't all be constructed or built and implemented in the 20 years, and so we will be clear with that. The county will review the plans and policies for all the forms of transportation, whether roads, transit, walking, biking, rail, waterways. We have ferries, freight, air, and even pipeline and information is considered forms of transportation. And then all of this will, like I said, create project lists, and then that will allow us to provide a link to the statewide transportation improvement program to secure some funding for the projects.
Thank you, Janelle. So the next steps are to approve an ODOT TGM IGA today, and then to hire a consultant to develop the plan. The estimated schedule is fall 2023 through fall 2025. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, you went through that last part really quick.
I did. Okay.
Can you backtrack and
We'll backtrack.
give us
Okay.
a hamburger flippers version
Okay.
so I can understand it?
The next step is to do inventory collection. So to collect the inventory of our roads and to collect an inventory of the traffic volumes on those roads in some key locations. That's part of the data collection. And then a technical analysis, so analyzing those and determining what is going to be needed in the next 20 years. So where do we need to improve the capacity of our roads? Where do we need to improve some of the safety of our roads? The TSAP, Transportation Safety Action Plan, will be an addendum to this. And then there will be a project identification. So once we know where we need to make some improvements to our road network, then we'll identify projects to address those needs. And then we'll do public outreach as well. How many public open houses are we looking at, Janelle?
I think we are doing 3.
And are they in person or online, or what's our
We'll have some in-person meetings for sure, and then we will have a project website, like, as we've been doing the past couple of years, which allows people of all areas to kind of state their area, their concerns, what they would like to provide feedback and input on.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, if I may follow. So the next steps, approve ODOT TGM IGA.
Yes.
That's what we're doing today.
That's today. So
All right.
the item in our agenda today is that.
Yeah. So the data collection, this is the consultant that'll do this. I mean,
Some consultants, some internal staff.
okay. Traffic, I mean, that seems like a huge lift to understand traffic patterns and how much traffic is in certain spots.
It is. So we have a rolling 4-year program to collect the traffic volumes on a majority of our roads. So every 4 years, we get a new collection. So each year, we do about a quarter of the roads. And so we've got that data pretty solidly, significantly better than the last place I worked. That program's working pretty well here. The big lift for us in this will be doing intersection traffic collection, which is a big lift. We put someone out there and count all the vehicles that go through for 2 hours. And we aim for that to be the peak 2 hours, so we look at the afternoon, and that takes time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just was thinking how you collect all that data in every intersection and road that we have. So it makes sense that we're doing that ongoing, and you'll use that ongoing data plus new data that you need. Okay.
That's correct.
Yep.
Well,
And they
that
are
makes-
and they're the higher classified intersections, so like they are not intersections of local, like neighborhood streets. They're the arterials and the collectors. So, but there are, I think there were slightly over 200 intersections total on our list that we plan to collect.
If I recall, I think I read the 2005, well, I didn't read it in depth because I would have fallen asleep, but some of the things that I read in there, for example, they called out a couple of paths or trails. I think one was up north in Woodburn, between Woodburn and Hubbard, and Santiam Canyon was actually called out as an example of that. So will those types of things be updated in this plan as we move it forward?
Those will be. One of the key parts of the TSP is to call out projects that we may be interested in. The funding capacity of the projects is low. It'll be
Right.
around 20%. We'll have the funding for about 20% of the projects that we put in here. And so if the project is in the TSP, then if there is an opportunity to fund it, then we can fund it.
Right.
And it provides a framework of projects which we may be interested in.
So, Mr. Chair, for me, so Carl, the really important thing is here, from the way I understand it, is we need to identify future projects in this plan, because if they're not in this plan, we're not going to do them, just like any other plan, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, all right.
In order to do a project that's not in this plan, we would have to amend this plan.
Okay. How hard is that to do?
It takes a little bit.
A little bit of a process, because it would be providing ordinance and amendments.
All right, so we want to
It's
get it right.
definitely doable, but
So
Okay.
I just want to
Time.
clarify something, because I know that we've done work on roads that have not been in this plan, but we can't get grant funding for that work. Is that right? I just want to make sure that we're clear on, like,
So-
we have the authority to work on roads.
Oh,
but- But
absolutely.
we just, in
So-
practice, we don't get the money if we don't.
Marion
get it.
County monies can be used as Marion County deems fit.
Right.
But in order to get federal monies, to obtain federal monies to work on our roads, it needs to be in a plan.
Right.
Yeah. So a good example is the recent Aurora Donald interchange, IAMP, that we went through a few years back. So that was incorporated into our TSP as an amendment. So we adopted that plan as one of our sub-area plans into here, so we could change what was identified in the old plan.
Well, I'm getting an education here. Been focused on a little bit of transportation lately. So that's a good question. So the Woodburn interchange, was that in our rural transportation, or was that in their metropolitan transportation plan? Because it was within, I assume it's an interstate, but it's within their city limits. Can you help me here?
So I wasn't around, I wasn't part of the county then, but I would think that the roads that were involved with the interchange were not county roads.
Right.
So that would have been mainly ODOT and Woodburn.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been
So
something
it had to
interesting.
be in their
Woodburn.
plan to be able to get those federal funds. Okay, got it. And the reason Aurora had to come into our plan is because it's not within the city, and the roads that connect to the interstate are our roads.
Right,
Okay, got it.
we were proposing some changes to our street sections.
Thank you.
Is this map available online somewhere?
Yes.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in so that one says 2025 update, but that's basically the same map that's in the 2005 TSP, which is in the engineering section of the Public Works website.
Also, if you go to GIS, you'll see that this is a functional classification map. On our publicly available GIS page, the functional classifications are available to whomever would like to look at them.
Great. Thank you. Okay,
Ready?
I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'm having a hard time smelling that bacon coming in here. I don't know if I can keep working or not. Mr. Chair, I will move that we approve the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation in the amount of $317,181.82, of which an estimated $280,000 will be provided by federal funding and estimated $38,181.82 will be provided in county funds for the Marion County Rural Transportation System update through July 31st, 2025.
I'll second the motion. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then last but not least, we do not have Ryan Crother, despite his name being on my list. We have Lonnie, and we're going to consider approval amendment number 3 to the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation. I guess you'll give me all the details about all the money. But this money is going to be provided for the Hayesville Drive Bike and Pedestrian Improvement Project through August 24th, 2026. Go for it.
Good morning. For the record, Lonnie Radke, Public Works. Good morning. We're talking today about our current project on Hayesville Drive, which extends from Portland Road to Ferrer Street in East Salem. This project is under construction, but we're here for an amendment because we did receive additional funds. Just to refresh our memories, we've presented this project before. But Hayesville Drive is in northeast Salem, and this project again extends from Portland Road, almost to Cordon Road, to Fearer Street. Existing conditions, or I should say before we started construction, we had narrow shoulders, not really sufficient bike lanes or pedestrian facilities. And this project scope will include widening the road so that we can have sufficient width for bike lanes, adding sidewalks that will be ADA compliant, and a crossing here, an enhanced RFB, rectangular rapid flash beacon crossing, just east of Portland Road. This is Roth's right here. So this enhanced pedestrian crossing will be upgrading the stormwater facilities, reconnecting the driveways because of all of the work done with the sidewalks and widening the road. And then constructing a new traffic signal at Lancaster and Hayesville. And at the end, we'll be doing an overlay for the full section, full length. The typical roadway section will have 1 lane in each direction. At the intersection at Hayesville and Lancaster, there will be left turn lanes. But for the rest of the section, there will be one travel lane in each direction, 6-foot bike lanes, and 5-foot sidewalks with some of the water treatment facilities in between sidewalks and bike lanes as needed. Today specifically, we're talking about Amendment 3, and this is adding funds. This project is under construction already. When we went to bid, we found, unfortunately, with the escalated costs that are hitting everyone everywhere, that we did not have sufficient funding. So we went back to the SCATS Metropolitan Planning Organization, and we're very fortunate. I'd like to put out a big thank you to the SCATS SCATS staff, the Technical Advisory Committee members, as well as the Policy Committee members who made this happen so that we could get an additional $2 million in funds so that we could complete this project. SCATS in general has moved toward prioritizing fully funding projects through this difficult time of the escalated costs, and we're really pleased that's the way the members have decided to move ahead so that we could finish our work. This is a lot of numbers to share. We've had a couple of amendments already. So before this amendment, we were sitting at about $7 million. This is increasing by a couple of $1 million. We don't do our IGA amendments very often, so there's also a little bit more worked in here for construction management as well as the traffic signal. Today specifically, though, we are asking for approval on the IGA for the almost $3.5 million. Construction is underway and will be done by the end of next year. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions for Lonnie?
No, Mr. Chair, it's coming full circle. What I did over at SCATS a couple of months ago is now before us here. So
Thank you.
I appreciate what you said, thanking that team over there and the other members of the policy committee who follow the technical advisory committee's advice to get this project done and move projects forward. So I really appreciate that philosophy. So if you're ready.
I am. I just want to make a note. I'm always struck by how long it takes for these projects to complete. I was looking at this page, and we signed this in 2019, and it's going to be done in 2024, right?
This is our biggest capital project in engineering to date. It's a big project for us. The design, the right-of-way was a huge component. There were, I think, nearly 100 files that we had to go through, and we've had some utility complications. There's been a lot. It has not been a simple process. Shane Otteson Jr. is our project manager. He is rocking this. He's doing an excellent job handling all of it, and of course Ryan Crother is a big part of it as well. So I know it seems like it takes a long time, but there has been a lot of work going into this whole time, the whole process.
Great. Okay, Commissioner Kamen, I'm ready for a motion.
All right. So, Mr. Chair, I will move that we approve amendment number 3 to the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with Oregon Transportation to add $3,424,785.46 for a new contract total of $10,495,955.46, of which an estimated $8,468,242.71 is provided in federal funds, and an estimated $2,027,712.75 will be provided in county funds for the Hayesville Drive Bike Pedestrian Improvement Project through August 24th, 2026.
I skipped all that, but you
That's
couldn't because
okay.
you were making the motion.
That's all
Yeah,
we need is so
yeah.
that it's on the record that we made the right
You had to
motion.
read all that, and you did. Good job. All right, I second the motion. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Thank you, Lonnie.
Thank you very much.
It's a good project for New Marion. And some of it's
Yeah.
in the city limits too.
That's
Yeah.
my concern.
Yeah.
We have to establish New Marion before it can be a good project for New Marion.
I'll also tell you that we have been approached by Federal Highway Administration for it to be featured at National Bike Week. We don't know exactly what that means yet, but it's a
National
good thing.
Bike Week.
It's a good thing, so.
I'll get
It's
mine.
getting national recognition, so it's great news.
Why? It seems like it's a pretty straightforward, you have bike lanes on the side of a road. That happens a lot.
I don't know the details of why. But
I mean,
know
I'm not
that
against it, but
It's
it-
using some carbon reduction funding as well, so that was one of their questions for us, so.
Okay.
That
Where
could be.
where did that money come from?
Scats.
Okay. Okay.
Scats has different pools of money. Karen Odenthal is a master of, she's retiring next
Yes.
week. But she has been a master and she's leaving it behind to someone who's going to do an excellent job as well.
You know she's from Staten? I don't know if you know that.
Karen?
Yeah, she's from
Yeah.
Staten. It's a great place.
Who's replacing her? Was he there yesterday?
Yes, Steve,
Okay,
I'm sorry, I
The
don't know how
younger
to say his
guy.
last name.
yeah.
He's coming with some good experience from Corvallis, so we're excited to have him be there as well. But she's done a really good job with figuring out which pools of money are eligible, which projects are eligible for which pools of money at SCATS. It's more complicated than I think we realize.
Yeah, it always is.
Did we vote?
All right, thank you. Lynn.
Thank you.
Did we vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to share if we do the order, Commissioner Cameron?
I don't know. It's been a busy, it's only Wednesday. It's been a
It's
busy
only
week.
Wednesday. We're halfway there,
Um,
as if we stop on the weekends. Well, we can pretend like we stop on the weekends.
yeah, I shoveled a lot of snow this weekend up in Detroit. So I was working.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had a good meeting on Saturday at
Yeah,
the
we
Gates
did,
Fire
that's
Hall.
right. We went to the Gates Fire Hall, slid down the road. Well, actually, I rode down with Eric Page, and he had a nice four-wheel drive excursion, so. But on the way back, it was totally wet. It was all melted off, so.
It was a big, full house. We were talking about the future.
How many people do you think?
Of the
50
canyon.
people there? Probably.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Really good input, so.
Yeah.
That was encouraging. Folks were
Yeah.
engaged and supportive of our framework for recovery up there. Okay,
All right, pray for rain. We need to fill the
pray
lake.
for, gotta fill the lake. That's it.
All right,
All right.
everybody wants sunny weather, but we need water above, we need water on the west side of the Cascades above the dam.
All right, there we go. That's what we're praying for. We're adjourned.
All right.